Hello there, and it is time. I am back here to do more grinding. Let's redo buffs and let's get started. Let us get started here. I did turn in the quests because I went and trained at level 30. Not trained. I trained at level 34 and I was planning to train at level 36 and turn in the bunch of quests then. But I had to sort of take a little bit of a break from recording and whatnot. And while I was doing that, I decided to, well, let's just fly around a little bit. I'm still bound to Orgrimmar for my Hearthstone. So I just popped over to Orgrimmar and turned on over to a bunch of quests, so my quest list is pretty much empty now. And I got about 11,000 XP into this level from that, so that got me a nice little bump on the way towards level 36. However, I do believe it is time to answer that question in a little bit more detail, because somebody was being rather insistent on this whole like how can you grind? Why do you grind? And how can you know, keep doing this? This is so boring. Alright. The boring thing, do realize that the whole boring thing, that's a very personal thing. That's something, you know, we all have a preference for. So there is that. Like you just like from purely, hey, this is boring to me, might not be boring to somebody else. But let's talk about the actual mechanical aspects of the game. Alright? One, when I am grinding here, my time is constantly being used to generate XP. I am not sitting on a flight master or a wyvern going off into a different land to turn in and chase quests. I am not running around trying to get to a quest objective and so on. I am constantly generating XP. Most of all, however, I am constantly generating loot. This is something questers do not do. Especially the way I see many questers do here. They try to avoid all mobs, for example these swirling vortexes, which do not pertain to their quest. So they try to only kill the mobs which, you know, they have a quest for, instead of everything in between, which would be, in all honesty, the correct way to go do stuff. Kill everything on the way to your quest objective. That I can completely understand then from like actual mechanical gameplay point of view. That makes sense to me when it comes to stuff. However, let's talk about the reward thing. I am level 35 now, and let's say I did nothing but grind beasts from level 35 to 40, alright? So, nothing but beasts, because I have skinning for a reason, alright? If I did not have skinning, I would not be grinding these things. If I did not have skinning, I just would not. They would not be worth my time and effort to grind. I would be grinding humanoids somewhere. However, I do have skinning. And that is the point here. Let's say it takes me, let's use some nice round number, but it's not exactly that. Let's say it takes me 1500 beasts, like 1500 beasts to go from 35 to 40, alright? Let's say it takes that. Okay, that is an annoying amount of resist now. But let's say it's 1500, right? Now, every time and let's say that every time I kill a beast, I get 1 heavy leather. It's not exactly because I'm gonna get medium leather, but make this as a simple example as possible. 1500 beasts, and every kill gives you a heavy leather. So that would be 1500 heavy leather, right? Now, 1 heavy leather. Now, of course, that number is never gonna work like that, because here I'm killing a vulture, which is gonna patrol into here, And that vulture will not give me a leather because vultures cannot be skinned. But like I said, as simple example as possible to hammer this point in. Now, one heavy leather vendors for 1.5 silver. So what does that mean? It means 100 heavy leather is worth 1.5 gold purely to a vendor, right? 1,000 heavy leather is in that case worth how much gold? 15 gold, right? So with 1500 beasts, I am looking at 22.5 gold purely from skinning 1500 beasts within 5 levels. 22.5 gold. Can you see that number, right? And that is nothing but the leather. Nothing but the heavy leather. It is no vendor drops, no greens, blues, anything else. Nothing but the leather. So I can easily say that, alright, I'm gonna make grinding beasts from 35 to 40, vendor all the leather, and factor in all the other drops. I can easily say that I'm gonna make about 50 gold out of this. I'm gonna double that number. And that's my goal here. Look at my gold at the moment. My gold is not as high as it could be, because at this point in time I have given out something like 60-70 bags completely for free to guildies. Why? Because I can. I know that it doesn't stop me from getting my mount or anything of the sort, and because, you know, I can. So I've been helping people out, and so forth. I have healed various instances because people asked me to. It was like, yeah, sure. And so on. Granted, I've obviously gotten some rewards and XP out of those myself, but it's slower XP, it is less gold per hour and all of that stuff than if I had just been grinding. So, something to note there. Anyway, so from the actual, like, pure rewards point of view, this is amazing. Now, imagine, let's take somebody who quests from 35 to 40. Do you think they are going to make 50 gold in 5 levels of questing? In all honesty. Do you honestly think that they can do that number? Because if I find somebody who can pull off that number, I wanna know what their quest route is, what quests they are doing to give that huge rewards for it. Because part of the problem with questing is that you run around a lot, which also often means that you are spending an exorbitant amount of money on flight paths. Like, it really stacks up when you start flying from, you know, Orgrimmar to Tanaris and back. Or from Orgrimmar to Thunderbluff to Tanaris and back to Orgrimmar and visit Ratchet on the way to go Booty Bay and then Hearthstone back. Like, you do that like 3-4 times and you have suddenly spent 30-40 silver on flight paths. So, yeah, if somebody can show me a route to get something like 50 gold in about 5 levels, going from, let's say, 35 to 40, while questing, without, you know, grinding a significant amount of monsters between those quests, then I really wanna see that route. I really wanna know, like, because so far I haven't been able to, you know, do an actual, like, statistical comparison of, like, which is better. I only have my own experience to rely on, and that experience so far tells me that questing, money-wise, is not worth it. It may be the faster XP per hour, but gold income per hour it is not. And so to try and get the best of the both worlds, which is to not do the whole you know, questing while avoiding all of the mobs as much as possible, which is very good XP overall for slower leveling classes who can't AoE farm like a mage can. And actually, you know, pure grinding like this is a very good halfway point there. The other obvious option here, which is the other end of things, is to grind a lot in between quests, right? Now, that grind a lot between quests gives you very good XP from the quest, but it gives you lower gold amount overall, because yeah, you are grinding, but you're not, you know, grinding as much as I am here. And that is one big reason why I'm doing this, right? Because I wanna be able to afford my mount at level 40. I wanna be able to afford a respec at level 40. So yeah, let's do that. Which is why I'm probably grinding to level 40, and I am probably grinding from 40 to 60. It's like I mean, if you don't want to watch me grinding, you're probably in the way wrong place. Now, as for the actual preference thing of like, how is this not boring? Now I have given you the, you know, mechanical, the reward based stuff. Alright? I find nothing as boring as sitting around on a flight master. Like, I don't find that the whole immersion of flying around on a freaking... This is not an RPG as such, like one of those like proper good single player RPGs with a storyline and so on. No. This is an MMORPG, right? This is a game where which I am playing with multiple people, and it does have role-playing elements on it, definitely. But it's also a game where I am definitely min-maxing stuff. Like, I am min-maxing shit. If you are not, then yeah, you are not, that's your choice, but you are probably not going to be very effective at your various jobs you want to do in the game. If you are not min-maxing your stats and so on. Anyway, the point I am getting at is I find it really boring to run from one quest to quest, and especially when I have to get on a goddamn flight path, because the only options at that point are twofold. I either get off my chair and do something else during the flight master, or I chat to people. And I can chat to people while I am grinding. When I'm just doing this one thing, I can, you know, press enter and type stuff with the no problem whatsoever. But that's me. Also, another thing to note is that I really despise most of the quests. Like, I don't find them enjoyable. That's just how it is. I have mentioned this before, but the game is an MMORPG, and I spoke about this last time as well when this topic came up. Every quest has to be crafted in such a fashion that it does not affect the world at large around the character. You know, you can't have a quest which alters the world to the point that it is very different for the rest of the characters, just based on what you do. You can have dimensions where the world is altered for you, but not for everybody else. And so you can't really have big earth-shattering quest lines here. This is not a single-player game, as I mentioned, and as such, quests are very much bound to that particular rule set, where it's like, well, we can't exactly change the states of the game at all, because it would affect everybody else. So what we do, go there, kill those 10 things. Go there, kill those 10 things. Go there, pick that item up. And so on, and so on, and so on. And that's basically it. So, I pose a question here. Why would I go through all the trouble to talk to an NPC for that NPC to tell me to come here and kill 10 of these? When I can do instead is come here and kill 1,000 of these things, without needing to go to an NPC after killing 10 of these, who will tell me to go somewhere else to kill another 10 of different things. So I cut out the entire running around bit and instead just kill. Like, that's the for me the thing. What I find entertaining is like, yeah, I will be healing endgame instances like for days. Yeah, I love that. All right, I absolutely love that. Leveling, I despise leveling. It's like, leveling is to me one of the most ridiculously dumb aspects of video games ever. I do not like it at all, because it's basically just a for basically every MMORPG out there ever since EverQuest. If you have a leveling system like this, the goal is eventually the end game. And people talk about the whole, especially when Classic was about to be released, people talked about the whole journey and whatnot. But what most people tend to talk about when it comes to the journey is the leveling journey, right? Enjoy the journey! Don't rush it, just enjoy the journey. And they are talking about the level 1 to 60. They do not consider, for some reason, the journey at level 60. Because to me the journey doesn't end when you hit level 60. To me that's where the journey really begins. Now I have done away with all the newbie stuff, all the beginning, all the introduction scheme to the game. Now my journey is to actually slaughter bosses in instances in a group setting, or fight the opposing faction in battlegrounds, or whatever have you between those endgame activities. And to me that is the more interesting part of the journey. Like, to me that's where the journey begins. It doesn't begin in this hellhole of a, you know, desert land. This is to me not part of the not the enjoyable part of the journey. It's however part of the journey I have to do. Now, if this was not an MMORPG and the game could, you know, drastically change from the dimension to dimension based on decisions I had, or let's say the way I solved out this quest or whatnot. If this quest here, which we have to kill a bunch of basilisks, which I have turned in already anyway, but the point stand, if there were multiple choices on how to finish this quest, I would be enjoying the journey. However, when the journey is kill, what was it? 10 plus 8 plus 6, 24 basilisks, 6 of the one type, 8 of another type, 10 of another type. How is that journey? It is just, you know, journey of kill 24 things, come back, and then I will tell you to kill other things. Anyway, so yeah, that's all of that talk done. Now I'm gonna shut the heck up and I'm gonna go back to grinding and getting myself to level 36, alright? Like seriously, if you look at those numbers, current basilisk claws, 5 of them goes for about 50 silver. Like, geez, this is almost 1 gold. This is 95 silver worth of goddamn stuff right here. It's like, no, wait. What the fluff am I talking? 15. Yeah, looking at wrong numbers, right? So basically, this is the 30 silver worth of stuff right here, and you know, it's like, jeez, like, and this is not even calculating all the goddamn leather, right? Like I mentioned at the start, it's like 22.5 gold, 1500 beasts, 22.5 gold in just heavy leather, right? Plus all the vendor drops. Easy 50 gold. Easy. Yeah, I haven't decided where I'm spending this point because it really doesn't make that big of a difference, huh? But, as I explained last time, I'm thinking of going 5 points in Blackout instead of taking Shadow Reach. I mean, Shadow Reach is amazing for endgame stuff, obviously, but for leveling, I really don't see the point that the benefit all that much. No, well, let's do that. Let's start taking points in Blackout. I mean, the Shadow Reach will make a lot of bloody sense for for like level 60 stuff, where especially for PvP to have extra reach on abilities as well. Here, I am just grinding things. Doesn't bloody matter, right? So I'm gonna take the Blackout, and once I respec at level 40, I am probably taking Blackout then as well, instead of Shadow Reach and this thing. Now, I spent these points originally thinking that I would take, like the original plan here was to take Vampiric Embrace, Silence, and 3 points of Shadow Rage to get to here. But it, on further thinking of it, it makes no bloody sense to do that when if all I am doing is killing animals and whatnot, because the extra little bit of range, like getting Mind Flay from 20 to 24 yards, getting a Mind Blast closer to the like to what 36 yards, doesn't really matter one bit here. Whereas the little bit of a crowd control increase from being able to occasionally stun something, that seems a little bit more useful. That is an amazing drop. Wow. Jeez. Gonna help this guy kill some geysers. This is one of those silly situations where somebody thinks that there is no quests to do anymore. Because they didn't run into them. Well, this gets me some free water, so I'm all happy with that. So yeah, very good example. Somebody who doesn't really look at how stuff is done in classic as opposed to current release version of the game, because they think there is like nothing to do here. As in, they haven't been to half of the zones where they haven't been to half of the zones where they where their stuff is. Because, you know, has not been into half of the zones appropriate to his level. So, so of course you run out of quests to do. Yeah. Well, that went quickly enough. I don't mind helping a little, and I got some free water for that, so that's nice. But yeah. If you are questing and what? But yeah, if you are questing and stuff runs out, you know, you run out of things to do which are anywhere close to your level. That was a level 29 fella against level 34, 35 mobs. You should probably be doing some other quests, or then spend a while grinding something, instead of trying to do that particular quest like a stubborn mule, alright? This is my tip of the day. Oh jeez. This is amazingly funny. I am again being asked to come and heal Razorfen Kral. And when I'm like, I don't think so, sorry. But you're that close as well. Sure, but I mean, level 2. I'm not gonna get XP for like half of the mobs anymore there and so on, so yeah, I am skipping that, sorry man. That is amazingly funny though. I'm level 35 35 and still get asked to come. And what's with the love for Race of and Crowl? What really drops there so much that people wanna do it like that badly all the time? Like, what? I know there is a quest there for warriors, but like, this thing is really only good for a priest? Oh yeah, but I mean, that is good for all casters, right? But and this is sort of decent for all casters, yeah. There is this thing which yeah warriors want and a lot of the enhancements Shamis want. Same with the warriors wanting the Tuscan helm, but I suppose a rogue dagger, like really? No. And this guy is a rare spawn, might not even be there. Blind Hunter, same damn thing. May not even be there. Hunter Polearm? And, well, yeah, I mean, the rest of this is okay. I don't bloody get it. Maybe it's the fact that it is so close to Barrens and all the other, you know, major horde hubs, right? Maybe that's it. Probably, actually. I wonder if medium hides are worth sticking on auction house at this point. They definitely weren't earlier because there was no high level leather workers around really to make use of them. Then again, most leather workers have their own skinning, so the only one usual is heavy hide because everybody, like, all the leather workers make use of that in some fashion to level up their skill points, whereas medium hide is you can basically kind of skip. Yeah, I'm thinking I won't try with the medium hide. The heavy hide, it's a little bit more rare, so. I wonder if this is worth selling. Just +7 stamina is not all that great. It's just purely stamina. Had it been like agility stamina, strength stamina, int stamina, something like that, it could probably have been worthwhile trying to sell that. But I might try. Yeah, I'm killing the vulture because these things wander around a lot and I don't want it wandering into me while I'm in the middle of combat. The nice thing here is that you can fear things without worry. Yeah, I mean, I can just, you know, psychic scream stuff these basilisks all over this camp, and they don't pull other basilisks, so that is amazing. But even then, psychic scream is something I'd rather not cast, because I mean, I have better uses for my mana, just as casting more mind blasts and whatnot. Next level 36, I should get an upgrade to Mind Flay, I think. That would be amazing, because Mind Flay is really starting to fall behind a little bit. With only 126 damage, and so on. I still don't get why eyes are so fluffy. Somebody really needs to explain that to me. Like, somebody knows, please comment down below. Make your wild freaking guesses why eyes are so much more valuable to goddamn vendors than spines. It's like, why is spine only worth 3.2 silver and an eye is over twice that? And yeah, I have these taking an inventory slot right now for when I hit level 36. Because for one, I didn't want to leave them in the bank, just in case I accidentally forget to then pick them up, which would be unlikely, but still, because that plus 6 stamina is useless to me, right? I picked this up in one of those Scarlet Monastery runs as a random drop. However, the plus 6 spirit is definitely definitely outdoes the plus 2 int, plus 2 spirit I have in my current brazier, so the plus 6 spirit is gonna be amazing. Wonder if I do need to train skinning before level 40 even. I probably may not. I probably may not. This 225 skinning should be enough to skin level 40 creatures still. That would save me a little bit of gold. I guess let's think on that once we get closer to level 38, 39 ballpark. Because all of this stuff is still green when I skin. Is green now when I skin it, instead of like. Like, this is currently green to me at 225 skill, so I'm thinking I should be able to skin level 40s. Because yeah, that would definitely save me a little bit of money on the way to level 40. Because I do need enough gold for my mount and enough gold to respec. And possible skill ups as well at levels 36 and 38 and 40. So those are something to keep in mind. Yeah, really badly need the next tier water now. I mean, this is level 15 water from the mage, which is even worse than the level 25 water. But I mean, 1300 mana out of my 2300 mana is not all that great. 800 mana is even worse. It's 1/3 of my mana bar currently mana bar, that is. Oh jeez. Yeah. Got you here as well. This is where I do that. Okay, die here, thanks. Come on, give me mana, thank you. Ooh, very good. Correct timing for a crit. lots of money laying around. Let's help ourselves to that. Yeah, I realized too late that this guy was pulling the geyser, so I'll let him tag the other one. And then... Jeez, this... Ooh, a nice crate. Yeah, I'm over halfway this level through already. Bloody well. Like, seriously. I love this place. Need to find another beast grinding location, probably at 36. Starting to think at 36 this is too low. It's too low at 36, so probably need another ghost beast grinding location with nice drops. What's with the inventory management I'm doing? Alright, so this is stuff down here that I do not want to accidentally vendor. And so when I'm drinking, what the heck else am I gonna do than manage inventory? So to answer the question correctly in what I'm doing with this particular inventory management, as I said, stuff down here I do not want to accidentally sell. I know there is a buyback tab now in vendors and whatnot, but that is more hassle again, you know? You sell it and you have to think of like, hey, I accidentally sold it. Is it still in the buyback tab and all of that good stuff, right? So I don't want to accidentally sell stuff which I want to keep. So I arranged the stuff which is not automatically sold as a junk by my add-on which sells all of my junk accidentally, as in automatically. I arranged all of the non-junk to be on the top, so that all of the junk would be down here and would be automatically sold to the vendor, right? So that all of this space is clear, and I know that all of this stuff up top here is just stuff I am going to vendor, right? Very easy, very simple. Tiny little planning like this and make less mistakes with I thought this was locked. What? Okay. Fine. Whatever. I remember turtle meat being really bloody good for leveling cooking. I might be wrong about that, but I remember that being the case. Oh jeez, only 30,000 XP to level. Ooh, that is good. Let's kill a... Because these guys drop turtle shells, which vendor for 9 silver each, which is just silly. Like, give me more of those, thanks. You're gonna leave me the corpse, right? Awesome, Wizard. Awesome guy. Wait, did I forget to shadow word pain or did it resist that? Forgot to do it entirely. What the bluff? Oh, that's so not nice of you, you silly thing. Just a sec, need to look something up for because people ask. Alright. Well, I have a couple inventory slots. Once the inventory is full, I'll go sell, and then I'm gonna take probably call it this there, because it's gonna take a little bit of a break. Actually, eat something and all that cool stuff. So seems reasonable. Give me that shell. The vendors really well. Well, the wrong kind of shell, but whatever. I mean, it's still the vendor trash, right? have heavy scorpion legs, so let's kill a couple of scorpions as well, see if I can get a few more of those fitted in here as well. Well, mystery meat is always good as well. slowly getting used to doing it to the left. Good thing to practice right now. Muscle memory, all that good stuff. Going to be quite useful for battlegrounds later on. Though, although I admit I probably won't be doing battlegrounds in a shadow spec. We'll probably be doing them in a in healing spec, but still. And XP is looking really dang good. Wow. Help on keeping the pacing up? When grinding, that is. What I do tend to do is listen to something I like to listen anyway. Something really fast-paced when it comes to music. I am personally a rock and metal fan. And yes, I know you can't hear that because you know, the whole when it comes the whole YouTube and whatnot, you know, copyright, whatever. You can't hear that on the YouTube recordings, and probably half of the Twitch recordings are also muted thanks to that. Anyway, I am a fan of metal and rock. My type of metal and rock are the kind where I can clearly hear the singing. I dislike the sort of mumble jumble metal and rock where the singing is nothing but pointless screaming. But that's my personal thing. Something with a fast beat is a personal enjoyment for keeping the tempo up whilst grinding. For example, many video game soundtracks are really good for that, like Frozen Synapse, however you wanna call that, Frozen Synapse and Frozen Synapse Red. Those two soundtracks are absolutely amazing. Some of the Call of Duty soundtracks, like a lot of it, especially the ones by Jack Wall, the guy who made Mass Effect soundtrack, like the original Mass Effect soundtrack, like a lot of his stuff for older, like Black Ops 2 and so on, are really like fast tempo music. It's really good for helping to keep up the pace, like unconsciously, because you're unconsciously essentially listening to something which is a fast pace. Another thing I'd like to do is I just because I have a second screen, right? I have a second monitor. I like to watch stuff to the point where like not things I really need to pay attention to, but for example, the YouTube videos or whatever, what have you. You could even listen to music from YouTube if you have a second monitor. Make it easy if you really wanted to, wherever you wanna listen your music from. I tend to have my music on my computer in general. So there is that. But yeah, my general go-to is something with rapid beat. Rapid beat sounds also amazing. Anyway, something like that to keep up the tempo. If you just wanna, you know, put on something else, like put on some podcast, whatever you wanna listen to, can also work. Note that it should not be something which really takes your attention entirely from the game. Something which allows you to split attention between the game and the other screen is good. Oh, jeez, you should be the final mob then. I just realized my bags are full, actually. Anyway, that's a personal preference and stuff. But likely, oh jeez. See, this is a problem now. That thing has to go, right? It's worth the least in my here. That thing, nope. I have 3 of them. So yeah, actually, that thing gets to go. Much better choice. To get done with. Alright, fine. Then we run out of here. Then we run out of here to sell. Alright, let's move that over there. Same reason as I explained before. All the stuff which is not automatically sold by the add-on which vendors all grey items at the top, so that all of this stuff gets automatically vendored. Alright, now I'm kind of curious actually. I have 34 and 4 gold and 5 silver at the moment. Of course, you can just look at this number which counts the money I have between all of my characters. I did make a couple extra characters, mostly for bank space, so to hold, for example, all these cooking materials and stuff. And I might be interested in leveling various characters, so I did the name stuff as well. Ice cream vendor. Let's use the ice cream vendor. Put this stuff into your ice creams. All right.
Be seeing you. Off and away. Need assistance?
Oh jeez. Up to 38 gold, right?
You have a great day.
I just gained, what, 5 gold? From vendor trash? Yeah. Yeah, up to 40 gold. Yeah. Yeah. See, this, as I explained at the beginning, this is why I do the grinding. Because bloody well, look at the amount of gold. And that wasn't even a full level worth of creatures. It was like, there's still 23,000 XP to go, about 130 mobs. Anyway, I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna take a break and then we'll get back to some grinding. So, thank you very much for watching.